Hi, I'm Shakti Durga. Welcome to the Goddess Speaks podcast. This is a collection of discourses from the ancient goddess Artha, containing spiritual energy and activations and discussions of those discourses. I hope that the teachings are beneficial to you on your personal journey of enlightenment. And Artha's book now is placed before her on its eagle stand, and she flips through it until she opens to the page from which she wishes to address us today. Namaste, beloved ones. The functions of light are beyond what is currently within the awareness of humanity at this time in the evolutionary cycle. It was stated on a previous occasion that the ancients, as you perceive them upon planet Earth, had a different idea about consciousness to that which is currently in vogue amongst humanity. That which is in vogue currently worships knowledge, whereas the ancients knew that this was but one part of consciousness, and that beyond what the rational mind is capable of, there lies a vast ocean of knowledge and wisdom, potential for development, and that the human potential is barely touched in the current age. It is always a conundrum for the soul considering its next incarnation as to which of the ages it wishes to place itself in. From the place in which the soul makes such a decision, all of the ages are happening simultaneously. Of course, within the ages, from the inside of the divine Leela, of course, there is an historical context. But have you ever wondered at the veil that seems to be drawn around humanity, going back more than some tens of thousands of years? The veil has been drawn there by the divine to allow a freshness to emerge into each of the successive eras and periods of time. It is truly incumbent upon you, beloved ones, to focus on the time frame that you call now more and more as you walk forward in your life. Whilst it is, of course, instructive to sometimes study the histories, try and study the now. Bring as much of your awareness, bring as much of your soulfulness into the now as you can. Feel the now and be aware that which gives you your humanity is enclosed within the liver. That which gives you your divinity is enclosed within your heart. There are such mysteries to be revealed to you in the way these things interact with each other. One can see the human part as less than the divine part, but this too is a fault in consciousness derived because we seek to analyze something to understand it and thus divide it into parts. However, the truth of the matter is, it's a whole. It is one continuous whole that deserves to be treated with sacredness. The trend that is developing in this group to bring more wholeheartedness is applauded by the spiritual hierarchy. And a growing trend for you will be the appreciation of the whole of life, which cannot progress where we are ignorant and dismissive of our physical reality. There are subtleties involved in this discussion, as have been alluded to already, because we are not talking about the egoic worship of physical bodies, as is seen in fashion magazines. We are talking about something wholesome and deep and fruitful, something that brings nourishing life, something for which the goddess is waiting to see this development within humanity in this turn of the spiral. And you, beloved ones, can help with this. It has been said already that the volume of love that you yet understand is still small compared to that which is available to you. And this exercise that is given to this group around becoming more conscious of the now, more conscious of your physical body and its sacredness, will be part of your further evolution into an expansion of more love than you ever thought possible. You already know that the divine is infinite. It follows that consciousness is infinite, and as the divine is love and bliss and light, that these things too will expand as your consciousness does, and that no matter how enlightened you seem to be, there can never be an upper limit to this procedure occurring within your being. When is enough, beloveds? Your heart, your soul will tell you. How to bring a new balance into your life will emerge rather than be planned. It is emergent. Matters that are emergent arise from your soul, not your mind, and thus it takes a moment for your rational mind to catch up with them and to create systems around them and structures. Allow the emergent nature to continue its trajectory, for this will do you great good and allow you to do even greater good in the world. A group such as this exerts a positive influence on all of humanity, not just because of the projects with which you're involved, which of themselves are laudable, but there is also the consciousness aspect. And over time, you will come to understand more of the way in which your consciousness, being centered and founded in love and unity and togetherness and caring, has a more profound effect than you yet recognize. When you feel within yourself a rising disdain or frustration or wish and desire to pull back from such unity and love, just be aware that you may have reached the frontiers of your consciousness and that the ego is rebelling. This is the eternal dance of the Leela of humanity, the eternal dance, stepping forward into more light and the need to integrate this into your vehicles of all levels of subtlety, including the physical vehicle. As your consciousness expands, you will realize that your subtle bodies and your physical bodies are a continuum, and that there is nothing gross about the physical body at all. That it, like all the other bodies, is only comprised of energy, that this energy is capable of holding different formulations of light. And as you become more sensitive to the way in which your body is an instrument of energy, it is a creation of energy, that the energy within your liver, in the seed that is held within the liver, permeates throughout this consciousness held in your body, you will have more willingness to explore how to best know and understand this vehicle. For some, The body has taken a battering over the years, and this has happened, of course, through karma. It is not anticipated that we will castigate ourselves for the battering that the body may have taken through external agencies or through internal habits, but to understand that it is never too late for change. It is never too late for evolution. And now is the moment where you can let it in the eternal now. When you move into, yes, I'll do it tomorrow, yes, I'll do it next week, you are in the realm of your limited ego consciousness. When you step into the now, you have power. When you step into the now, even if it is just with your mind for a moment, call forth your higher soul to empower you for what it is you wish to achieve in this moment of now. Being present, beloved ones, and congruent in your energy, having the stillness that is required to properly formulate ideas in your consciousness without rushing and without the ideas disappearing like puffs of smoke, not really forming into the full formation that you are attempting. Because remember, beloveds, that fast as thought might be, light is faster, and light in its subtle aspect is even faster. The higher consciousness is much faster than the lower consciousness. You will find a meaning to this as your studies progress. But for now, please note this in your spiritual journal, that the divine light is faster than low vibrational consciousness, and certainly much faster than your mind. It is important for you to know this. When you take sanctuary and refuge in right now as your focus, right now, and you breathe into right now, and you ground yourself through your feet in the right now, into the earth, and you allow the earth to be present for you in the right now, and you feel your body in now. When you take the time for all of this, which will take maybe a couple of seconds, this is enough time to override the fear centers in your body that arise in your consciousness and would trick you into an anxious response to something that does not require anxiety. And in that, gentleness is necessary, for everyone who is incarnate as a human does have a vulnerable self that needs to be nurtured. The more proficient we become in this nurturing, the stronger we become, until we become of the strength of an avatar. The development for these things is not impossible, and other humans before you have achieved it. If you are steadfast in your aim and effort to expand your consciousness into the divine, much will be revealed to you, and gifts beyond your current imagining will be open to you. You have been taught that the divine uses the carrot and stick to motivate. This is a carrot, beloved ones. It is saying that dangling right before your nose is an invitation to more love than you ever thought possible. This will be achieved through the expansion of consciousness and the continuation of your practices. It is pleasing to note that more and more of you are becoming more stable and steadfast in the daily practices. To try and do these things at a similar time is advisable, but if for some unforeseen reason or a lack of planning, or you just didn't think that you needed to plan for this, please try and do at least your mantras before going to bed at any stage during the day. These mantras are weaving light around you, beloved ones, and this light will weave into your 3 seeds of consciousness, and they will be like a flower in which you have your being, a beautiful flower. And it will become like a flying vessel for you eventually in subtle ways that you will be able to move your consciousness with much more freedom than you've ever so far experienced. Sometimes our spiritual training can seem repetitive, and it is meant to be, beloved ones, because otherwise no stability emerges. The repetitive nature of these teachings is designed to reinforce for you the importance of the foundation teachings at this stage in your spiritual journey. Everything that came before is relevant and important, but right now, in this moment of now, caring for the self, nurturing the self, loving the self, this is your main work. And also, you may say in your mind, well, I already do that. Artha is here to tell you that none of you do that. Many of you are deluded in thinking that the efforts you now make are sufficient for where it is the divine would like to take you. None of you are yet in a place where there is sufficiency in self-care to enable the journey of vastness which you are developing the karma for. So please, beloved ones, do not overlook things that may sound too simple. For some of you, these things are very difficult, and for some of you, they're very easy. But regardless, be present in the eternal moment of now. May the light of the infinite be with you always, and may you always be connected to that light. We ask this in full faith. Om, Om, Om. And drawing in Artha's messages, just drawing it in as we give thanks for Artha's discourse. May it resonate, reverberate, and be present as energy in our hearts, minds, and souls. May it be present in the seed of life, the seed of emotion, the seed of consciousness. And may we take it to heart and live from this teaching. We ask this in full faith. So be it. I hope you enjoyed this episode of The Goddess Speaks. If so, please share it with your friends and your family so they can benefit too. If you'd like to connect with me, visit my website, shaktidurga.com.